All right, guys, as you can see, this video comes from the Young America's Foundation and it's titled Slam Dunk, Dinesh D'Souza 100% destroys Bill Ayers in debate over entitlements. All right, so we're about to get into this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while we're watching. Now let's roll it.
Why are the schools, Bill Ayers asks, so bad? Funding on American public schools has escalated fantastically. It has gone up many, many times from what it was, and yet the schools never seem to improve. And yet, we never see people like Jesse Jackson protesting outside the public schools, even though black kids can't get a good education seemingly anywhere in the whole city or in the whole state. Now, why is that? Similarly, healthcare. People say healthcare costs keep rising. Why do healthcare costs keep rising? Healthcare costs keep rising for a really simple reason. The guy who's getting the benefit is not the guy who's paying. Now,
I just want to touch on what he said about Jesse Jackson not being there for the public schools that have kids who can barely read, right? I don't want to get this wrong and say that he's never spoken out about the fact that kids aren't leaving schools educated. Jesse Jackson seems to focus more on Jesse Jackson and his types, the NAACP. They seem to focus more on getting things. Like it's all about needing things, but it's not so much about the results, because we've had things. It's not like we don't get money. It's not like schools don't get money. That money just doesn't go to the right places. You know, a little bit of anecdotes. I went to a predominantly black school, a predominantly minority school. Most of the kids were black, and probably a third of them were Hispanic. And besides that, yeah, that was pretty much it. It wasn't a school in the hood or in the ghetto, but it was, it kind of looked like it. And we got funding and we got stuff, but it didn't reflect. And it didn't reflect in our lessons, and even the food. The food that we ate wasn't even up to standard. So, I mean, I felt that on a personal level. You know what I'm saying?
Now, let me engage in a moment of speculative, progressive reasoning for a moment. We have a right, no less for healthcare, we have a right to eat. We have a right to food. Who would deny that the right to prevent ourselves from starvation is as basic a right as healthcare? All right, now let's have Obamacare as applied to food. You will now be allowed to go to the grocery store and order whatever you want. Fill up your cart, you don't have to pay. Somebody else will pay. What's going to happen? The first thing that will happen is you'll take all kinds of stuff that you don't need. You'll fill your cart, you'll buy 12 cartons of milk and 45 cartons of bologna. And then you go up to the counter, and the grocery store will realize that they can charge whatever they want because you're not paying. So they will escalate their prices. The basic idea is that what's going on, you and the grocery store are conspiring to rip off the taxpayer. A third man is being cheated. And so what's going on with free education, free healthcare, is the taxpayer is being ripped off to give so-called free stuff.
Exactly. What's labeled as free is not free. Someone will always have to pay. If your parents didn't tell you, you know what I'm saying, that nothing in life is free, if you never heard that from your parents growing up, I don't know what type of parents you had.
One final word about the free education scam. We're going to give you all a free education, right? And all the Sanders supporters in the audience go, yay. But how are we going to give you a free education? Hillary's proposal will cost $350 billion. The United States is $17 trillion in debt. We don't have the money, so we're going to have to borrow it. We borrow the money, and who's going to pay the debt? This debt is going to be handed right over to your generation to pay. So what's really going on with this education proposal is that Hillary is reaching into your back pocket, taking your own future earnings and using them to pay for your education now. She's not robbing Peter to pay Paul. She's robbing Paul to pay Paul. It's a progressive rip-off scheme, and we should be realistic enough to recognize it. Thank you very much.
That was brilliantly said. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to get into this video. You know, I think when it comes to conservatives versus liberals, when it comes to new people joining in on these type of discussions, they'll be able to speak on things that they can relate to, things that they've experienced in their own life, and school, healthcare, things like that. That's something that most people will have some sort of opinion on, regardless. Most people will be able to formulate some type of opinion on that because they've dealt with it. They've been to the hospital. They've been through schooling. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me know what you thought about that in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe on your way out the door. Till next time, you guys, I'm out. Peace.